All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Match day, we here back again, live stream with another match preview. There's a lot of Chelsea news to go through as well, so we'll go through that, and then of course, just like every other day, every other match, preview, we'll do the predicted, well, not really predicted lineup, my lineup for the match between Chelsea versus Liverpool. But before we do all of that, obviously we have to talk about the interim manager as well, Bruno Salto. Who is this brother? What can we expect? So we'll talk through all of that. The Sun had a very, very audacious back of the newspaper headline. We'll see that. Look, Luis Enrique's name is now getting floated about. Every day it's going to be different. A couple of days ago, the flavor was Nagelsmann. Now the flavor is Luis Enrique. And it's going to keep changing like this. The journalists, the news outlets, the publications out there, they will have a lot of fun over the next few days until a particular manager is assigned, is appointed with Chelsea Football Club. It is all about the clicks. It is all about the views. They are going to rack up money. So we do have to take all of this information with a pinch of salt. But we can sit here and give our opinion. We can sit here and assess the situation, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. I think that is something us as a fan base we can do, and that is exactly what we will do. So before we get into the topic of Luis Enrique and the search for the new manager, I just want to talk about a couple of things. First thing that is getting thrown around in Twitter at the moment, in social media at the moment, is that Chelsea should take time. Chelsea should take their time with their decision. Taking time with the decision doesn't generally equate or correlate to making the right decision. Just because you've taken time and you've assessed doesn't necessarily mean that you'll end up making the right decision. And, similarly, rushing into something doesn't mean you're always going to make a mistake. So it's about execution. It's about making the right choice at the right time. That's what it comes down to. It's about execution. You look at what we did post Frank Lampard. We were very quick to get Thomas Tuchel. We didn't wait like 2-3 months to decide who we want our manager. You should know there are certain managers that are available. You interview them. You give them your objective. You not only interview the managers, but you also outlay to them, this is what we expect. Can you meet the expectation and also exceed the expectation? And then it's on us to also figure out, can they actually meet our expectations? So it's not about how quick or how slow. It's about making the right decision. So a lot of this conversation that's getting floated around. That's number one I wanted to talk about. Number two thing that I wanted to talk about before we look into the news, over 150 live after 3.5 minutes. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. Easy 100 likes immediately. The more likes the channel gets, the more the channel gets recommended, the more the channel grows. If you enjoy the channel and you want to see it grow and you want to see it hit new levels, you've got to help me out, ladies and gentlemen. You have to help me out. Get those likes up to 100. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. The second thing I wanted to talk about is whoever is the next Chelsea manager, ladies and gentlemen, whoever is the next Chelsea manager must warrant, must demand respect. Must. Whoever that figurehead is, they must be the center of attraction. They must be the center of everything at Chelsea Football Club. They cannot be a side dish. Unfortunately, Graham Potter was a side dish. And in fact, he was so much of a side dish, you couldn't even see it on the table. Maybe it was on the floor. The dish was on the floor. Players, we are seeing now articles coming out. Players were having fun. They were making jokes. They were bantering, calling him Harry Potter, calling him Hogwarts. Some had to Google his name. We cannot have that. We need a particular manager that warrants, that screams respect. As soon as that manager walks in, every single player respect immediately. And if they cannot give the respect, we need to find those players immediately and we need to shaft them. We must shaft them aside. So whoever we bring in must have that charisma, must have that characteristic of imposing respect. Whenever you see them walking into the training ground, you just go, whoa, the gaffer's here. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Not when the gaffer's coming in, they're having a laugh, they're having a mockery, they're having a joking session. So we have to keep that in mind. Now it's up to you. Does Nagelsmann bring that level of respect? Will the players look at Nagelsmann and go, do you know what? Nah, I better keep my mouth shut. This gaffer's serious. Does Luis Enrique bring that characteristic? Does Pochettino bring that character? It's not just about who's got the best tactics. You can have the best tactics. You can have the best philosophy. But if you can't get the players buy-in, ta-ta, see you later. You're going to be gone. Because the players, they're a huge group. They will have a cohesive nature and they will kick you out. Now you can say, well, then it's up to the board to stamp an authority. Sure, that's probably what happened with Arsenal. Arsenal made it very evident from the get-go, Mikel Arteta is the number one. He is the number one, numero uno, number one figurehead at Arsenal Football Club. And if anyone bothered him, they're gone. If we can take that stance, if the board can take that stance, no problem. I don't think the board took that stance with Potter. But Potter himself didn't command or didn't demand that level of respect either. So you have to have both. You have to have both, right? So I just wanted to point out two of these stuff. Before we go into the news, we'll talk about what's been happening latest. Obviously, talk about the Liverpool game. Let's just check some of your comments and see what you guys have to say. Enrique is not tiki-taka. Tiki-taka is something different. Also, Enrique is not Pep. Pep is different now. The only benefit of De Zerbi is Mudryk, nothing else. I don't know where this... Look, I know journalists have linked us to De Zerbi. I think it's an outside chance. I don't think it's happening. After watching Enrique, yeah, I think he would be too much for the young players and would limit our wingers' characteristic. I think otherwise. I think he's all about the wing play. He likes to send the ball to the wingers early so they attack. None of these dilly-dallying too much at the back. Get the balls quickly to the wingers. I think, and the fullbacks. Wingers and the fullbacks are going to really enjoy their football under Luis Enrique, from what we've seen. And people talk about he will destroy the development of young players. Have a look at the Spanish team. The number of young players that he had in the Spanish team. It's not. Let's not just have a closed eye. I mean, look, Nagelsmann's fantastic. I will not mind if we get Nagelsmann. I'm just worried that Nagelsmann could potentially get sacked as well down the track, because some of these players might not listen to him. When you have someone like Luis Enrique come in, some of these players will go, whoa, okay, well, you used to manage for 3 seasons Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, Busquets, Iniesta. Do you know what I mean? Some of these players, they'll be like, Luis Enrique is a big name, man. He's a big name. In modern era, he's a big name. Some of these players would have watched Luis Enrique play football when they were young. As I said, me as a fan, and I know a lot of you guys, would prefer Nagelsmann, no problems. But ask yourself, to some of our players, will they respond to Nagelsmann? You can have great tacticians. Nagelsmann's very, very good tactically, fluid. But at the same time, Nagelsmann will also have to warrant the respect too. How does he come into the playing group and command and demand respect? But will the players respond to that, or will they flip? Are we going to be in the same situation 6 months down the track and all of a sudden people don't seem to enjoy Nagelsmann anymore? Very, very important things to think about. Kingsley, thank you so much for the super chat. But Miz, it looks you want the perfect coach. But Miz, it looks you want the perfect coach. Of course, everyone wants the perfect coach. I don't want an imperfect coach. Of course, everyone wants a perfect coach. But I also understand there is no such thing as perfect coach. But what I'm saying is we need a manager that at least demands respect. You may not be tactically the number one manager always, but you know when you're speaking, the players are listening. I don't want a situation where with Graham Potter, the players didn't even, well, firstly, Graham Potter didn't say much. And then secondly, the players didn't respond. Can't have that. We cannot have that. Let's check out some of the latest news, ladies and gentlemen. Digital Film Reviews, thank you so much for the super chat. The club is in turmoil. We need someone with experience and a level head to ease the transition process. Nagelsmann is young and a bit of a hothead. These are the things I'm worried about. These are the things I am worried about. Nagelsmann, do you know what? I like his character. I do like his character. But me, that's me being a fan. Will the players look at him in that manner? Will the players actually go, do you know what? I would like to work with him. Who do you think the players would like to work with, Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique? How many of these players probably would have seen Luis Enrique when they were young? How often do you think any of these players probably have been watching Bayern Munich in the last, or even Leipzig? How much do they know about Nagelsmann? And I know it sounds silly. It means why do they just need to follow orders? Nah, man, life is not that simple. Just follow orders. The club has hired someone, just follow now. Well, if that was the case, then why didn't they do that with Graham Potter? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Thomas Tuchel was elite. Thomas Tuchel was an elite figurehead. When he came to Chelsea Football Club, he demanded respect. He was elite. So we need someone like that. Chelsea really appreciate Luis Enrique. They like his personality and leadership. Enrique would love to work in London, especially. So look, a lot of people are a bit worried that he hasn't managed for a little while. Look, he's been part of the Spanish team. Like, the man hasn't lost his touch. Yeah, look at the Euros, how well they did. They were moments away from beating Italy. I know the World Cup didn't go his way, but how often do you get to train with the national team? Luis Enrique, for me, right now, from the managers that are available, makes sense to me. I think Chelsea Football Club needs a strong figurehead. Do you know what I mean? More than someone who's tactically apt, which I think Luis Enrique is. More than that, I need someone who's going to warrant respect. I think he does that. Next bit of news that's floating around, ladies and gentlemen, is Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart addressed the squad today and reminded them what there is still left to play for. Baghdad Iqbali was also at Cobham. Ladies and gentlemen, this is important, man. The players, they had their fun and games. You had your joking around with Graham Potter and this, that, the other. Some maybe didn't even take this season seriously. Time to get serious. Time to get serious. Graham Potter's gone. Now put your head down, get a victory against Liverpool. Get a victory against Wolves. Put up a good fight against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Get a result there. It's time to buckle up. Shame on you guys. Shame on you players that are earning millions per year and you cannot seem to beat some mediocre teams in the Premier League. Shame on you. You've literally wasted this entire season. Now time to buckle up. You've had your go. You've had your chance. You've now had your wish. Graham Potter's gone. No more excuses. No more damn excuses. I like how Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart addressed the squad. God damn, it should be addressed. These players need to be addressed. Manager just got sacked. He lost his job. Okay, fine. You got a good, nice compensation. We'll talk about the compensation very soon. Now, do not disappoint the fans anymore. Tired. We are all tired of it. The millions across the world. 330 live in this particular live. Frustrated. We're all frustrated. Time to buckle up. Time to show us a performance. Starts from Liverpool. Himanshu, thank you so much for the super chat. Luis Enrique also has a big ego and is very stubborn. Look at his selection for Spain. I think it will clash with Bowley within a year, maybe even less. Look, these are the things they need to talk about. And Bowley needs to stay away from team selections and clashing. He needs to just step away. He's the chairman. Be a chairman. Don't get into this nitty-gritty stuff about selections. Let that be Vivell, Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, all of their problems. Bowley has made a mess last summer by getting someone like Graham Potter, giving him a long-term contract. You made a mess. You thought you knew football. You don't really. You're a good businessman, no doubt, but you need to understand football. So let the footballing stuff now stay with the footballing people. Stay away from it. So yeah, I like this. I like this from Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. Check this out. Key senior players were increasingly skeptical and felt Potter was out of his depth. See, we said this from the get-go, but these journalists, these same journalists, Simon Johnson, David Ornstein, Matt Law, they were telling us that, everyone seems to be all hunky-dory. Everyone's getting along. Literally like 3-4 weeks ago. And now, key senior players were increasingly skeptical and felt Potter was out of his depth. Of course. This is what I said from the get-go. Of course they will think that. We could all see. A blind Stevie Wonder stuck in the basement could see that he was out of his depth. Some referred to him as Harry or Hogwarts behind his back, while some team selection caused confusion in the squad. We need a gaffer that is gonna demand and command respect, which Graham Potter didn't have, which looks like our board didn't really back Graham Potter in that manner either. Potter would tell the players to trust the process. Who's doing these leaks, man? Which particular player is leaking all this stuff, bro? That's funny. Potter would tell the players to trust the process. I never knew this was actually. I thought this was a fan-made thing. Are there actually managers that are actually saying this in the dressing room? Trust the process. The only process to trust is winning, brother. Win. There is no other trust the process business. As Jose Mourinho once said, when elite clubs starts accepting that, that was a good game that we played, but we lost. That's all right. When big clubs starts accepting losses because they played well, you're no longer big anymore. You're not a big club anymore. People harp on about, oh, we need a process, we need a project. No one said you don't need a process, you don't need a project. No, of course. Yeah, of course we need a project. Of course we need a process. But no one said let's have a project and a process filled with plethora of losses and draws and drop points. A project and a process doesn't equate to let's be 11th. Process and project still has some level of dignity. No one's asking in a process or project to win trophies. If you can do that, kudos to you. Thomas Tuchel came in and he got the Champions League. Sarri came in and he won the Europa. I mean, no one had the objective for them to do that, but they did it. That's great, kudos. Process and project means that there is some form of progress, some form of development, some form of football getting better. But you still need some level of dignity. You still need to be bare minimum in the top 6. You cannot be 11th. Had Chelsea under Potter been at least 5th or 6th, he doesn't get sacked. And I think the fans would understand in his first season. But the fact that he's 11th, and the football is just depleting and the players not responding. This is why we are here. This is why we are here. Graham Potter is set to receive 13 million in compensation. We've done well there. We've done well to negotiate that with Graham Potter, and then thank you to Graham Potter as well, I suppose. Thank you to Graham Potter. Graham Potter could have probably easily turned around and say, no, pay out my entire contract. 50 million worth. 50 million worth. Well, thank you to Graham Potter to be accepted, unless there was some sort of clause in the contract stating that we can pull out by giving you a 1-year compensation. I think 13 million is about close to his 1-year salary, right? So we've done well there. We've done well there. But then again, we spent 21 million or 22 million to get him from Brighton. And obviously we've spent the money this season to pay him. So we've spent quite a considerable amount of money just on him. And then, of course, now we sacked him. And this is the second sacking since the new owners have taken over. In 9 months, Todd Boehly has spent 50 million in managerial costs, and unlike the cost of player signings, which are spread over 5 years, for accounting purposes, managerial expenditure is all recorded in the same year. So this is only going to mean bad for us in terms of financial fair play, where we're already looking very, very iffy. Last 3 years in a row, we have to bridge that gap. We are way above the financial fair play threshold for Premier League, which is 105 million losses over a 3-year period. I think our losses are in excess of 250 million. How are we going to bring that down? Something to really think about. Players need to be sold. Academy players, for that matter, need to be sold. Alex is saying, Miz, will he take Sarri back at Chelsea? Do you know what? I never wanted him to leave. I never wanted Sarri to leave. He wanted to go. I don't think he wants to come back. I think he's happy in Italy. I would take him, yeah. There would be a process. There's a process and there's a project that you can back with Sarri, with dignity. Sarri would not have us in 11th. That's just my perspective. We'll talk a little bit about Bruno Salter now, ladies and gentlemen. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. The owners should not veer away, got the wrong guy, but stick to the mission. Get a manager for long-term, not short-term solutions like Enrique and Zidane. See, this is where I don't understand the mindset of certain fans here. Stick to the mission, get a manager long-term. Brother, what do you mean by that? hire someone for another 5 years, a 5-year contract on exorbitant amount of wages. Long term should only warrant with progress. I'm a believer of 2-year contract, 2-year contract with decent amount of money, and you're always on the toes. You're always on the toes. You got to bring result. And when I say you got to bring result, I don't necessarily mean you got to bring titles. You got to progress. Bringing in someone, if you have that mindset from the get-go, I'm just going to bring in someone for the long run, and then you're going to be stuck with someone like Graham Potter, who's going to end up bringing us to 11th, and you're going to look silly again. The notion should be bring in someone who can progress a project with dignity. Not what Graham Potter had. 3 wins out of 22. It's not about Enrique Zidane being short-term. Why are they short-term? Why is Enrique and Zidane short-term? Is it because they're old? Is it because they're grandpas? Bring someone like Nagelsmann because he's 35. He can manage till his, in his another 20 years. You bring in someone like Nagelsmann, just for instance, let's just say, and it could happen with Luis Enrique as well, but let's take the instance of Nagelsmann. You can bring him in. What if the players don't respond to him? Because they don't respect him. This is what I'm saying. It's not about, don't worry about long-term, short-term, this, that. Bring in a manager that's going to win. Bring in a manager that's going to have a good successions of wins. Don't bring in a manager where we're going to have to wait another 3 months and have a record like Graham Potter. Our squad is good, man. Our squad is a good squad. We've got high quality, high calibrated players. I understand whoever comes in, I don't expect them to just 100% win record. No, not at all. But you cannot also have 25% win record after, let's say, 10 games, 15 games. Doesn't work like that. I want someone who can mimic what Ten Hag has been doing with Man United. It's a project, it's a process, but it's done with dignity. Yeah, every now and then they get battered. Yeah, every now and then they'll have a loss against, the way they did against Newcastle. But that's fine. That's understandable. Overall, it's progress. That's how we need to think. In this modern era, lots of money gets invested. How do you think Todd Bowley and Baghdad Iqbali, after spending 600 million over 2 windows, if someone turns around and says, oh, you're going to have to wait 3 seasons to see some success? It don't work like that, brother. Get a good manager, demands respect, and let's bring some grit back into the football club. Let's start winning some more games. That's how it all works. That's how it all works. In my opinion, that's how it all works. Big up, bro. You should get Enrique looking at the players whom seem to lack respect and winning mentality. Exactly. Also, probably leave Nagelsmann for us as possible option. Look, we could most possibly get, I think Nagelsmann seems like the most favorable one, the favorite, and that's fine. As I've always said, I'm okay with that. But I want our board to then fully back Nagelsmann and weed out any players that disrespect him immediately. Gone, shafted. No, let's have them start. Let's see, let's protect their value. No. Protect Nagelsmann. Means you can't bring in a manager who wants to win when you don't have the team to win. See, I don't buy that. We don't have a team to win, apparently. We don't have a team to bring. Why? If after spending 600 million, we still don't have a team to win, then we're not doing things right. Our squad is not as good as people think. We don't have a 6 or a top 9. Just because we don't have a 6 and a top 9, that's it. We're rubbish. Look at the quality in our defense. Silva, Fofana, Padishil. Like, Chalobah is no mug either. Koulibaly is iffy, but he's on his day can be great. Look at our fullbacks. Reece James, okay, injured most of the time, so hopefully he can stay fit. On his day, he's world class. Chilwell, excellent. Enzo Fernandez. Kante is coming back from injury. Kovacic. João Felix, Sterling. Mudryk. There's enough talent there. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the team's rubbish. How can we say that? Does the team have some gaps? Of course it does. It's not a rubbish team, man. That's mad. Bruno's thinking of football is heavily influenced by Pep Guardiola. He often took training sessions at Brighton. People are having a mad laugh about this. Obviously, he's bold and Pep Guardiola's bold and all of these bold people coming forward. Honestly, I don't know too much about this particular brother, Bruno Saltor, ex-Brighton player, apparently was part of Graham Potter's backroom staff, took training sessions at Brighton as well, looks up to Pep Guardiola, which is great. That's good that he looks up to the top notch, top of the top. I don't really expect too much from him per se against Liverpool. I really think it's going to be the players managing themselves, honestly. I mean, he's just there as a name. I don't think he's going to command or demand any sort of authority on the team. I think he's just, obviously, he's going to consult with the players. The players, honestly, will just pick themselves. He's probably going to consult with Kova. Kova and him are probably going to decide on this guy's never selected a team in his life. Do you think the players didn't even respect Graham Potter? And he probably had some level of dignity, and they didn't even respect him. How are they going to respect this guy? Some of the lads probably, if they didn't know Graham Potter, they definitely don't know. Even though he was around all this time in the training ground, they still probably didn't even know who Bruno Saltor was. I just think that against Liverpool, and this is why I need a new manager in. A lot of people are like, nah, take your time. Let's wait, let's make sure we get the right... Taking time doesn't correlate with the right decision. And similarly, taking less time doesn't mean you're making a mistake. It's about execution. It's about making the right decision. Sometimes by taking a long time, you still make the wrong decision. So, Bruno Saltor, look, he's part of Graham Potter's backroom stuff anyway. And if players didn't listen to Graham Potter, what makes you think they're going to listen to Bruno Saltor? There's been some rumors that players were given certain orders in the match and they didn't follow those orders. So look, I fully believe against Liverpool, the players, they'll know, they'll get together. These guys, they've won stuff before. These players have won Champions League before. Do you know what I mean? Some have won the Premier League. Enzo Fernandez has won the World Cup. Like, these players, they know. They're not dumb. They know how to win. So I think against Liverpool, you're just going to see them. It might just be a bit more free, a lot more freedom. Some will show some flair. It's probably going to be a lot of vibes. I wouldn't even be surprised if we win. I swear to you, I won't even be surprised if we win. In fact, I'm actually going to predict a win. I think we're going to beat Liverpool. Because the players are going to play with a lot of freedom. Do you know what I mean? But it won't be down to Bruno Saltor setting us up. It won't be down to him. I don't know how much impact he's going to have. Really, I don't really know how much impact he's going to have. CFC Daily, back page of the Sun. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea interim shocker. The 42-year-old virgin. I mean, that's mad. Bruno, I've never picked a team before. That is a mad headline, man. That is sensational. That is actually sensational. I can't believe they do this sort of stuff, man. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy. But yeah, these are some of the latest news that's been going around. Let's see what you guys are saying before I do the team, my team selection. No way Bruno smokes Klopp, but it won't be Bruno smoking Klopp. It'll be the players smoking Klopp. Yeah. Ms. Close sources tell the Bowley's top 3 candidates for managers are 1. Roberto De Zerbi, 2. Pochettino, 3. Nagelsmann. I mean, De Zerbi from Brighton. Will owners ever learn again? Like, honestly, we should just stop with the Brighton for a second. We really should. We really should just stop for a second. Let them breathe. Let us breathe. Enough of this Brighton stuff in recently. Nothing against De Zerbi. I think he's done all right, but let him show us a little bit more in the Premier League. Let him just show a little bit more. Let him just continue. Let's see what he's made out of. Let's not just jump the gun straight up. Salam Miz, wa alaikum salam. Eddie, so would you rather have short-term gain for long-term loss? No. See, what makes you think that's what I'm saying? Why is it, if you look at short-term gain, then you're opting for long-term loss? Am I stupid? Why will I opt for that? You can still have short-term wins and also have long-term wins. It's not one or the other. Who came up with this theory? Short-term pain to get long-term gain. No, you can still have short-term success. And who said that I'm not up for pain? Have we not seen enough pain with Graham Potter? Have we not been patient? How much more patience did you want us to have? Have we not already showcased by being 11th that we are patient? Even during short term, you should have some sort of milestones. Once again, I repeat, the milestones aren't the new manager when they come in. The milestone isn't let's win the Premier League immediately. There's only 10 games to go. Mathematically, it can't be done. But at least out of the 10 games, show us how to win 5 out of 10. Can you win 5 out of 10? That's a start. Is that asking for too much? Is that asking for 5 out of 10? Do you know what I mean? But for long-term success, we will still be doing better. But yeah, man, I think yeah, it doesn't need to be so binary. It really does not need to be so binary. Mischeck Liverpool leaks from PYS. Yeah, I saw that, man. I'm not interested about Liverpool leaks. Like, who cares? Like, Salah won't play this, that, the other. I'm not really interested who plays from their team. We just need to go out there and win. Do you know what I mean? We just need to go out there and win. Terry, good to see you, my man. Process, yes, but the right person, and we are not like Arsenal. Absolutely right. Abdul Razak, good to see you. These people in the chat are talking like Arsenal fans, man. Short-term pain for long-term gains. What does it? Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know why. And like as if we haven't had enough pain. Like as if we haven't had enough pain. All right, this will be my team. Kepa. I hope he's been iffy, man. He's been iffy again. Again, recently he's been iffy. And I hope he wakes up because Liverpool will take some long shots. And I hope he's ready. But he should come back into the lineup. LCB, I'm going with the 3 at the back. That's what we've been doing in recent times. I continue with that. Nanda Kumar, I just have to address that. Sorry, we aren't a patient bunch. 7 months for a new up-and-coming manager without a preseason where we got rid of every striker option before he came and still kept Kepa for the season. So, Nanda Kumar, were you Potter in? Answer me this, Nanda Kumar. Did you want Potter to stay in till the end of the season? Regardless of what the situation was with the football club, regardless of where the results were taking us, did you not see enough? Did you not see 6 months of misery? You wanted to see more. You wanted us to be 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Is that what you wanted? You wanted us to be knocked out against Real Madrid without a fight. I don't understand this. Have we not seen enough? Let me know, Nanda Kumar. Were you Potter in? Did you want Potter to get more time? More time would have helped. Let me know. In the middle, Koulibaly, because Thiago Silva is still not ready. Go with Koulibaly. I think Wesley Fofana started training, but I don't know if he's ready yet. So look, I don't want Reece James to be here at the moment. I need Reece James further up to help us in attack. I'm going with Chalobah. I don't know what Chalobah has done wrong. Why he's not starting is mad. It really is mad. Royston Bruno Salto, the players gave everything last weekend. The scoreline didn't go for us, even though we created chances. Please get a new manager soon. Is this a legitimate comment? Is this a legitimate quote from Bruno Salto? Miz reminding us of misery. Yeah. Some of my mates used to say that back in high school. The misery. But yeah, I'm going with Chalobah. I don't know what he's done wrong. He should have started against Aston Villa. I'm going with Reece James in wing-back position. This is where I need Reece a lot more. Can he play as RCB? Of course he can, but I'd rather have him as wing-back. I need his attacking impetus. I need his crossing. And I think he's far more comfortable defending from that particular area. Ben Chilwell will continue on the left side. In the middle, I'm continuing with Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez. Up front, I'm hoping Raheem Sterling can play this. I'm going with Sterling. I need this particular brother back ASAP. I'm going with Felix. This is where the chemistry was building. And I'm going, do you know what? Sneaky situation. I would like to go with Aubameyang, man. I would actually, but I know Bruno Salto will just continue on with the Havertz stuff because they like how Havertz drops into midfield, this, that, the other. Do you know what? No, I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going with Aubameyang. I want to see this combination. I want to see Felix, Sterling, and Oba. Oba should just get a free start, clean slate again. Oba's the striker, man. Oba is the striker. Let him try and combine with Felix and Sterling. Let him combine with Reece and Chilwell. Let him combine with Enzo. Let Havertz have a bit of break. Let him come off the bench. I'd go with this lineup, ladies and gentlemen. This is my lineup. It's not going to happen. I don't think Aubameyang's going to start. Some Abdul Razak is saying Mount. Maybe Mount does start. Who knows? But where would Mount start? Would he start in the inside forward role? I don't think he's good enough in that particular position, but he could. Let's see what Balak CFC is saying. Miz, don't laugh at my new gaffer Bruno Hive, where we add Baldy Ball at the bridge. Liverpool FC aren't ready. Look, this is the team I'm going with. Flyers is saying, dear God, let's not go with this lineup. What lineup would you go with? Flyers, let me know. Let me know what lineup would you go with. I don't think this lineup is bad. I don't know where you are, feeling dear God about. This is what I'm going to go with. Kepa, Badiashile, Koulibaly, Chalobah, Chilwell, Kovacic, Enzo, Reece James, Felix, Aubameyang, Sterling. I'm actually going for a win. I think we're going to beat Liverpool. Liverpool are in a mess. We're in a mess, of course, but I feel like we're going to beat Liverpool. Probably saying Baba Ball, Paul Lane, Upford. Is Drog Baba in the comments? Didn't see. Where's Baba? Have I missed something? How come I can't see Drog Baba's comment? Drog Baba. Everyone's commenting on Drog Baba. I must have missed it. I'm still trying to look. Yeah, I must have missed. Can't find. Bubba, if you're still in the live chat, comment. Drug Bubba Ball. Everyone's saying Drug Bubba Ball. Why am I missing this comment, man? Where is Drug Bubba's comment? Anywho. All right. Yeah, I'm going with a victory. Possibly 1-0, maybe even 2-0. I think we probably might concede. Might be a 2-1 victory. 2-1 victory for us. That's what I'm going with. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your score prediction. Let me know how you felt about that team that I came up with. Let's see some of your prediction. Let's take some of your comments before we wrap things up. Smash the like button before we wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those likes up to 200. That'll be great. Let's see what Anmol is saying. Hey, Miz, what do you think about Brendan Rodgers? If we can't get Enrique or Nagelsmann, his experience is ex-Chelsea, managed Liverpool, had a decent stint at Leicester. I think he's a good manager, but once again, I don't know if he's... Honestly, I don't think he's Chelsea level. I really don't think he's Chelsea level. I think his peak days are over. Do you know what I mean? You know, his peak day was days where Liverpool, when he was managing Liverpool. From there, he sort of started going downwards and he sort of stayed in that area. I don't look down on him. I think he's a good manager. I think what's happened to him, at Leicester, not entirely his fault. Leicester financially in massive trouble. They haven't been able to spend, and you can only do that much, right? Brendan Rodgers is not going to be able to create miracles in this league where everyone is strengthening. But I don't think he's Chelsea level. I'm sorry. He's another manager. I don't think he's going to, command respect from the get-go. Luis Enrique, for instance, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, the lot, won it all. So yeah. The chat must learn. Miz is in the heel era. He don't want to hear these small names. Bruno, my new gaffer, will prove him wrong. Bro, Bruno ain't doing Bruno is just a figurehead. He'll just be standing there, but he won't be doing anything. If we win because of the players. It won't be because Bruno Fernandes's tactics. Call him Bruno Fernandes. According to The Athletic, the process to hire next manager will apparently take weeks, with manager contracted elsewhere also said to be interviewed. Okay, we'll see. I just want someone in before Real Madrid. I really do want someone in. Give me your score prediction, ladies and gentlemen. But the Shield Masterclass with two headers, 2-1 Chelsea. Come on. Give me some of your score prediction before we wrap things up. 4-2-3-1, Mudryk wide left, Felix up top, Havertz just behind striker Sterling, wide right. I mean, Jack, that sounds all good, but what makes you think Bruno Salto will do something totally different to what Graham Potter was doing? This guy was Graham Potter's backroom staff member. Essentially, you can say another assistant manager. Why would he all of a sudden do something different? Firemaster, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss, what Luis do without MSN? He had MSN. Yeah, he did have MSN, but you still got to manage them. Do you think they just manage themselves? They're so egotistic. Do you think it's easy to manage Messi, Suarez, Neymar for 3 seasons straight and destroy football and win everything? People think that you don't need a manager. Barcelona, since that time, did not win a Champions League. He was the last time that won the Champions League. People downplay this. He had MSN. Even I could have managed and they would have listened to me. Graham Potter could have managed MSN. It don't work like that, my man. Talent is one thing, but you need them to work collaboratively. You need them to work in a team. You still need to give them instructions how to attack an opposition, what sort of plans that you're going to have. It just doesn't work like this, brother. Look at that Bayern Munich team, superb Bayern Munich team, but they were behind Dortmund just before Nagelsmann got sacked. That Bayern Munich team was losing to Bayer Leverkusen. You think that Bayern Munich team under Nagelsmann didn't have enough firepower? They had a lot of firepower, but they were still losing to Leverkusen. They were still losing to other teams. They were second. It don't work this way, man. just because you had him, just because Zidane had those monsters at Real Madrid, that he just won those 3 seasons in a row Champions League without doing anything. No, there's quality in Zidane. I initially thought, nah, Zidane's not another one of those player becoming a manager. I didn't think too much of him, but to win 3 Champions League in a row, nah, man, you have to have something about you. La Liga as well. It's not as simple, man. It's not as simple. Look, Messi's in PSG with Mbappe and Neymar. They still can't win the Champions League, and at times they still struggle in Liga. It's not like that. It's not like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash up the like button before you go, and tune in for the watch along. I'll see you guys for the watch along. Hopefully we win. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.